This part of ADDIE model will discuss about development, implementation, and evaluation process. The development phase includes pre-development and development. In the pre-development, we usually use several strategies. The first is the storyboard, low-fidelity mock-up, and high-fidelity mock-up. In development, the strategies used often include prototyping and developing materials. Let's take a look at storyboarding. It includes visual images describing the content. It aligns with the goals and objectives and shows where the instructional strategies and assessment fit within the learning content. An example of storyboarding is like that. What you see here is describe the process or the content of a particular topic. Low fidelity and high fidelity mock-ups are often used to prepare for the development. Low fidelity mock-up refers to hand drawings based on goals and objectives and describing the process and content. This is an example of low fidelity mock-up. It has placeholders for several content. Higher fidelity mock-up refers to visual presentation of the content that mimics the actual product. Here is an example of high fidelity mock-up. Prototyping is an instructional design strategy that has been used to develop content. Oftentimes, it starts with creating an example, then going to the prototyping phase. What you see here, the prototyping consists of 3 parts. Part 1 is a lesson description, and part 2 is the lesson itself. Part 3 includes some supplementary resources and references. The prototyping process has to take into consideration the following factors. First is the instructional strategy. Second, educational technology. Third, learner characteristics. Fourth, content sequencing. After prototyping, the next phase involves developing actual materials and a run-through. On the left, you see different materials has been produced. On the right is a run-through process, which means you show the material to the learner and then conduct a cognitive walkthrough to see if there's any problems as learner goes through the content. Finally, you invite the expert to walk through and to see if there's any problems or issues with the material. Implementation includes 3 phases. First, training the instructor. Next, prepare the learners. Last, arrange learning space. As you train the instructor, when training the instructor, you need to inform them of the goals and objectives of this training, the instructional strategies to be used while training, the media, activities, and assessment. Prepare learner is also important. You need to make sure they have the tools and the knowledge and know how to use the hardware and the software as they learn the content. Finally, when arrange learning space, make sure you prepare the learning equipment, get ready space for learning, and a testing technology equipment, such as multimedia. Evaluation. There are 2 forms of evaluation: formative evaluation and summative evaluation. The formative evaluation in ADDIE model refers to the design process, which includes analysis, design, development, and implementation. Each component within the design process will provide the feedback to its previous component. The formative evaluation in instructional design is essentially a recursive process. Let's take a look at the design and development. The design provides the input to development. While developing the material, the instructional designer may find the design needs to be revised in order to develop the material more effectively. There are several forms you can do formative evaluation. They include one-to-one evaluation, group evaluation, and field evaluation. Summative evaluation is also an important component in instructional design. It measures how well learners have learned. The summative evaluation evaluates students' achievement, attitude, and behavior. The forms of summative evaluation include quizzes and exams, and actual performance.